watching a master at work.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, this is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend Tell It Like It Is for those who chew gum. And if you're chewing gum now, you're sitting at home watching UPTV Channel 6, Tell It Like It Is. Last week we wasn't on because, man, I lost my mustache. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't come on TV without a mustache. But I'm back with my man, Major Nuisance, Colonel Sanders, Sergeant Rock.
Good evening, Joe. How you doing?
Excellent, man. How you
Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. Now, the Memorial Weekend show, you wore your Cardinals hat. Now you got your Army hat on.
Oh yeah, I got to represent.
But you should have represented then. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Joe. Sometimes I got to represent the Cardinals. Represent the White Sox. Mm-hmm. And I represent the United States Army.
Okay. Well, let me give you. Salute.
Salute.
We're gonna give you one off my 5 head.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, NBA playoffs. We're down to 2. The Utah Jazz, done quick. The Detroit Pistons, what happened? But now that that's all said and done, you know who's here? King James and the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing the San Antonio Spurs for the 2007 NBA Finals. And it started last night. It don't look too good for Cleveland, but as is if you go off of one game. 85-76, the Spurs took game 1 last night in San Antonio. The desperate housewife, Tony Parker, he did his thing. 27 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. King James, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. But he had 6 turnovers, half a dozen, like the Baker, and he was only 4 for 16 from the field. Sergeant Rock, help a brother.
I told you Wednesday that San Antonio was too fundamentally sound for Cleveland Cavaliers to beat them in this series. And game 1 just proved what I said once again.
You're correct.
They shut your King James down. Like I said, he only had 14 points, 6 turnovers, and it really wasn't double teaming him per se. They was gonna let the rest of the Cleveland Cavaliers beat them if they were gonna win this game.
You are exactly right. You are exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs played a smothering defense last night, a lot of help side defense. Whenever James tried to penetrate, bring the ball to the bucket, there was another Spur rotating over from the weak side. A complete team effort by the Spurs. Like I said, the desperate housewife led them with 27 points. But we got folks that's calling, hitting us, man. We ain't even sat down in the chairs good. Caller, tell us your name, tell us where you're calling from. Tell it like it is. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You are here. Talk to me, caller.
I just want to know why the Cardinals aren't on.
Why the Cardinals aren't on, ma'am? You are watching UPTV Channel 6. I think you might find the Cardinals on a different channel.
No, they're not on 26. There's a poker game on 26.
Oh, yeah?
No, they've been blacked out inside.
Oh, I don't like the idea, but I guess if that's when are they negotiating?
No.
Insight?
No, there are several games that they're going to be blacking out.
I believe that. Bye.
Okay, take care. Wow.
She upset.
That's an upset fan, but you know what? She told it like it is.
Call your local cable provider and
And they will tell you
I mean, they've been getting a lot of complaints over there at Insight, too,
about the Cardinals being blacked out.
about the Cardinals being blacked out.
Well, you wear your hat all the time. This is Cardinal country, so to speak. So call her, like he said, hit your local cable provider, or see if you can get the DirecTV Major League Baseball package, and you can have the Cardinals from here until the sun don't shine.
It is on the radio, though.
Is it? So she can sit there and with her old Philco and woo. So check out the Cardinals there. But right back to the NBA Finals, Spurs, Cavaliers, like you'd indicated before the call. Spurs played total team effort. Duncan, 24 and 13. But Tim Duncan had 5 blocks last night. That means he's able to just roam the middle. And you know why he's able to roam the middle?
Because there's nobody there.
Right, because Iggy, the 7'3" center for Cleveland, guess how many points he scored last night? The same amount that me and you would score in a game. 2.
Oh, man, I'm something to get 25.
And I'm 5'3". He's 2 feet taller than me.
I'll get more than 2 points.
And he scored 2 points, 1 for 8 from the field. That don't work. That doesn't work in the NBA Finals.
Well, you know, Joe, it didn't work for Utah not having a center, and it's not going to work for the Cavs not having a center. Now, I was hollering sweet earlier in the week, but I'm going to let them go 5 games. They'll probably go back to Cleveland and win 1.
You think they'll win 1 in Cleveland?
And that's going to be it.
Now, like I said, Tim Duncan, Timmy, with 24, 13 and 5 last night. He's boring. He's so boring, he's going to win his 4th NBA title in 9 years. That's how boring he is. All you and one fans out there and folks who love the killer crossover and the slam dunk, you might want to reevaluate who you cheer for, because Tim Duncan is showing you what the consummate all-around basketball player is. And he didn't show anything different last night. 31 years old, been in the league for about 10 years now, and Tim Duncan looks like he has not skipped a beat. His game has even gotten better. He's more efficient when he gets the ball. You don't see Tim Duncan doing more than 3-4 dribbles when he gets the ball. Next you know, it's buckets. And the Argentinian, Manu Ginobili, 16 points, 8 rebounds last night, 3 for 5 from the three-point line. The Spurs will get you anywhere and everywhere. As a team, you know, we talked earlier about assists. Spurs had 18 assists last night. Cleveland only had 9. They share the ball.
Share the ball, win the ball game. The Spurs are not a selfish team.
No.
Not a selfish team. They don't mind spreading the wealth. And with Duncan in the middle, there's a lot of wealth to share.
A lot of wealth to share.
Because when they fall down on Duncan, you got the kick out to Parker or to Ginobili, and you got 2 points.
And then you got Finley. You got Big Shot Bob, who's about 75 years old, going for this is his 6th title, right?
No, it'd be a 7th if he wins.
All right. Now, you know the person that we're not talking about that I think is probably one of the keys to this series for San Antonio? Bruce Bowen. Bruce Bowen is the defensive specialist for the San Antonio Spurs. And LeBron James, I'm going to say right now, he'll probably be, when his career is done, one of the top 5 players of all time. But last night, LeBron was locked up like Paris Hilton. He could not get away from Bruce Bowen.
But you know what? Like you said, James' time is going to come. But all the hype that went on with this ball game prior to the start last night was just that. Hype. People.
It was what?
Hype.
It was what?
Hype. James is done.
You saying James is done? Now let me give you an example.
Wait till next year.
Wait until next year. Sergeant Rock, you might have a point about James being done for this series, because after the game was over, they asked LeBron about his performance, and he said he didn't play that well, but he'll do better tomorrow. They don't play again until Sunday.
He done.
LeBron.
Brain totally fried.
I got a headache. Get that man off me, mama.
See when Duncan snatched off his headband. Oh, well, okay.
That's not funny.
I know it.
That ain't funny, man.
But, yeah, LeBron James, all 4 games, okay, 5 games, are going to be played this way, LeBron. Face it, man. Face it.
If there's any bright spot for Cleveland, coming out of the Detroit series, Daniel Gibson. Last night he had 16 points and 4 assists. He only had 1 rebound. He was 7 for 9 from the field. Drew Gooden was 14 points. Problem for Drew Gooden, he only played 26 minutes. He was in foul trouble all night. The thing for Cleveland, they got to win game 2. They got to win game 2. So when they go back to Cleveland, because you know it's a 2-3-2 format in the NBA Finals. So after game 2, the next 3 will be in Cleveland. Then if they do win at least 2 games, they'll go back to San Antonio to finish the series out. So the key for game 2 on Sunday, LeBron, is your teammates have got to step up and score some more points. And LeBron's got to find a way to get to the bucket. And the only way he's going to get to the bucket is if his teammates hit those uncontested shots. So that's what's happening. Game 1, NBA Finals. Now, we got Cleveland. Their first time in the NBA Finals. Ever. I mean, ever. I mean, even back when Bingo Smith and Campy Russell and...
But wouldn't you like to say when we went to the finals, we won the first time?
Yeah, but when you playing a team like San Antonio Spurs, like I said, this is the Spurs' attempt to go for their 4th title in 9 years. This is the type of stuff that the Lakers used to do in the 80s and the Celtics.
It's a gimme.
Like almost every other year, those teams were in the finals.
It's a gimme.
Back then. So I got to tend to agree with you, Sergeant Rock, is looks like San Antonio is going to get their 4th title. Big Shot Bob is going to get his 6th, you know. And 7th. It'll be his 7th?
It'll be his 7th.
Wow. He's up there with, like, Bill Russell and Bob Cousy, dudes like that. Phone lines are ringing early. You hit us at UPTV Channel 6. Phone number is 1-800-HONDA is 384-2452. The phone number is 384-2452. Every week I get it wrong. I was at the barbershop today and this dude said, man, what's the number? I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell him. But hit us, 384-2452. Stat Girl's got a 10-call minimum. Excuse you?
2.5.
No.
We talked about this earlier. The contract.
No, there's no contract.
I saw a contract.
It must have been an invisible ink, you know. But you're gonna have to do something about that. 10-call minimum.
3.
Last week it was 2 weeks ago it was a 4-call minimum. Last week we wasn't here because I was getting my mustache fixed. But Stat Girl, that first call about the Cardinals, that you ain't getting, don't count that one on your tick mark. Don't do that at all. Now, the 2 cities, Cleveland, San Antonio. Sergeant Rock, you ever been to Cleveland?
I've been through Cleveland.
Been through Cleveland.
Been through Cleveland. Never stopped. Cleveland's used to be an old iron town.
Is it?
You know, what are you doing?
I'm sinking.
It was an old iron town, you know. Everybody's in Cleveland.
Keep talking, man. It's live TV.
Everybody,
you saw that I'm fixing my chair. I was about 3. I told you I was 5'3" when the show started, and I wondered why my chair. You know. But now, wait a minute.
sit down with his chin on the table.
I'm back. We're back with the news. So you said
but been through Cleveland. It's a workman. It's a work town. Everybody's there's pretty much middle class.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can tell by the way the Cleveland Cavaliers played,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
So do you think their colors are derived from the old rusty,
there you go,
old steel mill, hard-working blue-collar town that Cleveland is?
That's what they call it, Russ Brown.
Russ Brown? Is that what it is? Hey, I got a keen eye for these things, people, and I put my eye on it last night.
So we want to call them the Cleveland Browns, same thing.
Cleveland Browns. Well, why the basketball team the Cavaliers though? What's so cavalier about the city of Cleveland?
Beats me.
Beats you? You ever been to San Antonio?
Never been.
Never been? Never been to the Alamo?
Never been.
You got a coonskin cap?
No, I don't.
I'm just trying to get some association.
The movie was on a couple of nights ago. The Alamo.
The Alamo?
With John Wayne,
Yeah.
Richard Widmark.
You did watch that, didn't
I
you?
did watch.
Richard Whitmark. Did he? Now, he had on a coonskin cap, didn't he?
John Wayne had on a coonskin cap.
So John Wayne was Daniel Boone.
No, Davy Crockett
He was David. I know it was one of them dudes.
from Tennessee.
Was Ruth Buzzy in the movie?
No.
What? The cities that are involved in the. What?
She's never been to San Antonio either.
You people out there know it. The cities involved in the. You know how the mayors and stuff, and I'm just trying to put some educational information out there about the two cities in the finals. Guess I was wrong. Some people just don't understand the academic side of sports.
It's more than just scores.
I thought it was. Well, let me move on then. Sorry. 384-2452. I know that. It's a phone number. Tell it like it is. UPTV Channel 6. Give us a call. Stat Girl has a 10 phone call minimum tonight.
We're going to be talking with Doug Dickey here in a few minutes.
Doug Dickey.
Now, in case you guys don't remember Doug Dickey, he used to coach Tennessee, I do believe it was.
And Florida.
And Florida, yes.
And he won a national title.
That's right. Back in the late '60s, early '70s, then he went on to be the athletic director at Tennessee. And now him and some other heavyweights, some heavyweight people,
Right.
are getting ready to start an All-American Football League.
That is correct.
Now, this league will be playing in already existing, basically, college towns.
Like Champaign.
No, they won't be in Champaign.
Oh.
The closest, I think, is I was reading right, Purdue.
Purdue.
I think they're going to have a team in Purdue. There's also going to have a team in where Alabama plays.
Yeah.
Because, like the article said, if you can get 92,000 people to a spring football game, there's a place for football right there.
Yes, indeed. You are correct. And like you said, they plan on kicking this thing off in the spring of 2008. So we're just less than a year away for the All-American Football League. So like Sarge said, when we get Doug Dickey on the line, we'll be able to talk for about 5-10 minutes with him about the burgeoning league, the All-American Football League that'll be starting up 2008 spring.
And it's not going to be easy to get into this league either, because see, you can't go 1-2 years of college and then decide you're going to jump to the All-American Football League.
No, buddy.
You have to have your degree to play in this league.
Right? So when we talk about scholar athlete, they truly mean it in the All-American Football League. So like I said, when we get an opportunity, we'll have Doug Dickey on the line, and we'll be able to talk to him for a few minutes about that new league that's coming up. But before we go to Doug, real quick, we talked about Cleveland and San Antonio in the finals. But before Cleveland got to the finals, they beat Detroit to move on to the NBA Finals. And I just want to go back to, there he is. There that man at, mama. He's so great. Rasheed Wallace. He's nuts.
What do you do this time?
What did he do this time? Game 6, Cleveland, fourth quarter, down 8. Rasheed upset on a non-call that happened his way. He goes back down to the other end of the court and just basically mugged LeBron James. Called a foul on Rasheed, Eddie T. Rush, and then Rasheed just snapped. Threw his headband off, started cursing, yelling at him, and called a technical on it. At the time, Detroit was only down 8. Did it matter to Rasheed that they still needed him to get through the fourth quarter and possibly the same game 7?
He walked off the floor, didn't he?
No, well, he had to walk off the floor. They threw him out the game. I'm glad he did walk off the floor then. But it brings me to this. I mean, Rasheed Wallace has been in the league 11 years. He's a 13-7 man. He's been productive every team he's played on since he came into the league in '95 out of Carolina. But here it is, when you can lose it at the most crucial time of the season, does anybody want him? Will he still be on Detroit next year?
He'll be on somebody's team.
Somebody's going to pay. Huh?
Yes, they are.
Now, my question is this. Should a team like Detroit or whatever bring in somebody like Dr. Phil or maybe even Dr. Ruth?
I really don't think anger management classes are going to do Rasheed any good.
You know what'll do him some good?
Winning.
Not even that. Rasheed needs a facial and a haircut. If he gets that, he'll be okay. But moving on from Rasheed and moving on to All-American football. Doug Dickey, as we said earlier, former coach of University of Florida and Tennessee, and athletic director, is among a group of high-powered individuals who are putting together football for spring of 2008. Doug Dickey, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How are you tonight?
We're doing excellent. Appreciate you coming on, Tell It Like It Is, UPTV Channel 6. Doug, we'll jump right into it. Why another football league?
Well, we have spent some time looking at it. The crowds in college football are significant. The NFL is having sold-out stadiums after sold-out stadium, and it seems to us there's room for another league. We've had a lot of opinions expressed that are favorable to that. We've talked to a lot of people, done marketing studies that show us that people who follow college football will come back and watch it. And so there are plenty of places around the country where fans can't get in, they can't get a ticket, and they want to watch their teams play. So we feel like if we can put together a league that will capture a lot of the spirit of college football, whether it's played on the campuses or whether it's played in the bowl site stadiums, particularly in the South, that we have that kind of following to build that off of.
Now, what's going to be different about the All-American Football League compared to the USFL, the WFL, and the XFL?
Well, first, you're going to have to be a graduate of a university to play in our league. And secondly, we're going to try to capture some of the ambiance that goes with college football that makes us a better feeling place to be than some of those other leagues were. We also feel like that there's a fan attraction to the regionalization of the teams that we think we can capture, and if we can play in some of the college stadiums, that'll be a tremendous asset to us. There's just hundreds of ballparks around the country that are great facilities that are only being used about 4 months a year, and the opportunity to put together a professional league that would use some of those, I think, is beneficial to the stadium and whoever owns it, and to the players and coaches, and particularly to the fans. This is all about the fans coming out to watch college type football and professionalize a brand of it.
Okay, let me ask you this, Doug. What makes you think that this league will not go by the wayside?
Listen, I'm sorry, I'm having a very difficult time hearing you. Can you come through a little better somehow on the mic there for me? I can't really pick up your questions.
Okay, what makes you think that this league will not go by the wayside like the XFL or the AFL, even though you're not trying to compete with the NFL? What makes you think that this league will survive?
Well, the first thing is you have to have is cost containment. And we think we have that structured, that we have a fix, we have a finance put together to get us started. And if the fans come out and watch it, then it will make it. If the fans don't come out, nothing's going to make it, no matter what kind of sport you have. But if the fans will come out and support it, then it's going to be an entity we can control it, because we have a single entity employer. And that way we allow ourselves to set the salaries and to set the prices of what we do with things.
Doug, we indicated your background, SEC football, which is big-time college football, University of Florida and University of Tennessee, and you're also an athletic director. Who else is working with you on this versioning league?
Well, we have a board with Cedric Dempsey, who was head of the NCAA. We had 3 college presidents on there, Dr. Charles Young, who was at UCLA in Florida. We have Dr. Massengale from the University of Nebraska, and Dr. Wethington from the University of Kentucky, who was also the president of the NCAA at one time. Jacqueline Gale, who was an athletic director at Navy and very much involved in the National Football Foundation. Gene Corrigan, who was a commissioner of the Atlantic Coast Conference and also the athletic director at Notre Dame, is on our board. So we have a number of people that I think have excellent backgrounds in athletics to help put this package together.
We're talking to Doug Dickey, who is a part of a new football league that'll be kicking off in the spring of 2008, the All-American Football League. Doug, we really appreciate you coming on UPTV Channel 6, Tell It Like It Is. Now,
we have a website. Let me mention this. We have two things here. One, we have a website, allamericanfootballleague.com. Go to that website. If you'd like to try out to be on one of our teams in 2008, we will have a tryout in Orlando, Florida, July 2nd and 3rd. And we'd like to hear from anybody who's interested in playing on one of our teams.
Okay. We got a couple minutes left. Real quick, give us an idea of the cities that will be involved in spring 2008 when the season kicks off.
Well, we have contracts with Knoxville, Tennessee, with the University of Tennessee, with Gainesville, Florida, with the University of Florida. We have a contract with the Birmingham, Alabama Stadium. We have a contract at Raleigh, North Carolina. And we're negotiating with about 6 other sites at this point. So our hope is to have 6 teams in place by the 1st of October or so, and that way we'll be able to hire general managers and get on with our game.
Folks here in Champaign with the University of Illinois in this area, will they be able to look forward to some All-American football in the Illinois area?
We would be glad to talk to them if they're interested.
Okay. Go ahead and give us that website again for All-American Football.
allamericanfootballleague.com.
allamericanfootballleague.com.
You got it.
This is Doug Dickey. Doug, once again, we appreciate you coming on UPTV Channel 6. Tell it like it is. We say good luck to you, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to you next year when the season's going to kick off. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was Doug Dickey, who is part of a new football league, the All-American Football League, that'll be kicking off in the spring of 2008. It's an interesting concept, as he said. Number one, they're going to be playing in predominantly cities that are known for major college football. And it sounds like they're going to really be working their way from the south up to the north, with SEC football being real big down there, right. Major college football being big in the south. What do you think?
Well, let's hope it don't go by the wayside of those other leagues, because, you know, the XFL, that was a joke. I think XFL lasted, what, 2 months?
I think it lasted 2 games.
No, it lasted 2 months.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And then, what was the other league? You had the World Football League. I think they lasted 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm. And then you had the USFL.
Yeah, and I think it lasted 2 seasons.
Well, I want to hear what these people out here think. UPTV Channel 6, Tell It Like It Is. Give us a call, 384-2452. Tell us what you think about the proposed new football league, the All-American Football League, that'll kick off in the spring 2008. If you think it's going to be something that's going to be good for football, or are we oversaturated with football? You've got the Arena League going on right now. The NFL, even though the season kicks off around Labor Day weekend, you got football news coming all the time from the NFL. So it's almost like we're hearing about football 12 months. College football in August, it kicks off, and the bowl season runs all the way through January. So is this something that you want to see? Do you want to see professional football in the spring? And if so, give us a call and give us your opinion, 384-2452. UPTV Channel 6, Tell It Like It Is.
Well, like you said, this league is not trying to compete with the NFL like all the other ones were.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that in itself might give them a chance. Also, they're going to be basically using college-type players. You know, the fans that love college football. Not all college football players make it to the pros.
Right.
Now, here's some place for these guys to go play.
What? Hey, I'm all for something once. And I'll try it.
And Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, now I mentioned to you just the other day, that he's trying to start a football league.
It's the UFL. They should call it the UFO.
I don't think it's gonna happen though.
No.
Billionaires can't buy teams.
But you know what?
And expect to be successful.
But you know what it is? When you have too much money, you don't know what to do with it. So you decide, I'll start up a football league. Just give me $2. I'll tell you what to do with that. I give you my $2 worth. Is that okay?
That's fine with me.
Fine with you. But we appreciate Doug Dickey calling in to Tell It Like It Is, UPTV Channel 6. Hopefully we'll have some more call-in guests in the future. You know, but that was enjoyable. At least get some information on something that, like I said, is starting up fresh, and we might see that hitting the spring in 2008.
Speaking of football, the federal people went into Michael Vick's yard today with a search warrant.
Really?
Yeah.
What they find?
They didn't say yet, but you know they took it over from the local police. So what did that tell you?
I tell you, Michael Vick
He in trouble.
might want to call Paris Hilton and see what the food's like.
Michael Vick is not going to be playing football this fall, people. Michael Vick will be subpoenaed. He will be arrested, tried, and locked up.
And you heard that directly from Perry Mason.
Trust me.
Perry Mason.
When the feds come after you, the feds come after you.
They say they get you. That's the true long arm of the law. And for Mike, man, it just, I think this story just has a leg of, it's just growing legs. And when it first came out, I was like, oh, I'd never been to that house. Next thing you know, yeah, he been to that house. And then next thing you know, he owned a few of the dogs. And then next thing you know, he's betting on the dogs.
He's breeding dogs.
And then he's breeding dogs. Then we found out Mike Vick is a dog.
You're not getting ready to, you're getting ready to tell that story, aren't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm going to move forward.
Yeah, leave that.
Stat Girl is real bored right now, and she's got about 25 minutes left to keep her job. Save Stat Girl's job. 10 phone call minimum. Doug Dickey don't count either. We got a call about the Cardinals, and that was about the lady meant to call Insight. She didn't mean to call here. And then Doug Dickey was an interview.
You know, I like to see.
So we called Doug Dickey.
Here's what I want. I want those people to call that were running around town yesterday with all these LeBron James jerseys on. There's a whole lot of people in this town jumped on the Cleveland Cavalier bandwagon.
Oh, yeah? Well, speaking of NBA news, a couple other things real quick. The Orlando Magic finally have their head coach. Billy Donovan was their coach for what? About 48 hours?
Overnight.
He was Federal Express. He was positively, absolutely overnight.
He said, yeah, I do it, had a bad dream, woke up that morning and said, what am I doing?
Now here's my question. $27 million?
$27 million for 8 years, I think it was.
I could take $7 million and put it over my eyes, and I can go to sleep. We could have been 1-81 as the Orlando Magic. I have no problem with that. $27 million. Think about it.
But you know, a coaching job in the NBA can be really short term too.
$27 million.
It can be really short term.
It could be inch high private eye short.
Hold on, he may sign an 8-year contract.
He gets all the money.
But if Orlando is not winning by year 3, year 4, he's gone.
And he gets all the money. It doesn't matter if you win in the NBA.
Maybe not to you.
You get all the money.
Maybe not to you.
Oh, so what you're saying is you would coach for the love of the game?
Exactly. $28 million is not going to look good on your resume when you go get another job, Joe.
I don't need a resume if I've got $28 million.
Come on, man.
All I need is a hot tub and a bottle of Dom Perignon.
Man, you want to work, though.
I can work on the hot tub and the Dom Perignon. The love of the game here.
Therein lies the difference, folks. Therein lies the difference.
Right. New school, old school.
That's right.
But they did get their new coach. Stan Van Gundy, Jeff Van Gundy's brother, is now the coach of the Orlando Magic.
And Jeff is out of job.
Well, Jeff is doing
Yeah, he's with TNT. He's sitting up there on TV right now, right?
He's doing TNT and Rogaine commercials. So Jeff Van Gundy. It's the other Van Gundy that got the job. It's the fat Van Gundy, Stan. And if any of y'all wonder who I'm talking about, he used to coach the Miami Heat for a little bit. Then he resigned, and then Pat Riley came in, and then next thing you know, the Heat are the world champs of the NBA, and Stan Van Gundy said he missed his family. And then he was at home for 6 months. He don't miss his family no more. He like, that's why I've been coaching all these years. I don't want to be around y'all. So good luck to Stan Van Gundy, Orlando Magic. Let's get away from basketball. Let's move on to some baseball.
To the majors.
The majors. Who's your favorite team?
Cardinals.
Who?
Cardinals.
Who?
Cardinals.
Who's my favorite team?
Cubs.
They can't hear you talking like that.
Cubs.
Please, would you project your voice into the
The Cubs
microphone?
are what, 7 games out? In 3rd place?
See, there you go.
Behind St. Louis?
There you go.
That's right.
Let me just, you know me, I got them right here. I got stats right. The Cardinals in 2nd place. They're half a game ahead of the Cubs, okay? The Cardinals are 26-31. The Cubs are 26-32. So all that means is that the Cardinals play one less game than the Cubs. When the Cardinals lose tonight, they'll be tied 26-32. Okay. Last 10 games, the Cardinals are 6-4. I don't know how. And the Cubs are 4-6. But we know why the Cubs are 4-6 in them last 10. Because they be fighting on the bench.
That's ridiculous.
What?
That's ridiculous.
Oh, so what?
Zambrano and Barrett going to blows in front of 38,000 people in the dugout. What was on their mind? Now, I told you back in April that their new manager, Lou Piniella, I said this back in April, people. Lou Piniella would have a nervous breakdown. He was going to break down by the end of May. I was off by 2 days. June 2nd, he imploded.
Are you finished?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is he finished?
I'm finished.
You finished? Okay, those of you who know sports, as opposed to my colleague sitting across from me, understand that was a calculated move by Lupa. After Lupa went out there and kicked dirt on the umpire and got the 4-game suspension, the Cubs since then have won 4 out of 5. I rest my case. Genius. Remember on the Road Runner, Wile E. Coyote, Acme, super genius, Lou Piniella.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying
Because he went out there and kicked dirt, got tossed, got suspended for 4 games.
he
made the Cubs winners.
Well, he took the focus off the Zambrano Barrett fight.
Damage control, in other words.
Right, which is a brilliant move. And it put it on him and his 4-game suspension. And what happened? Zambrano came back on the mound without incident. Nobody even talked about the fact that he pitched the other night. But if Lupa wouldn't have did that, the story would have been on Zambrano and he would have imploded again. So that's why I said he's genius.
Did Barrett catch it?
He caught a left and a right. I don't know if he caught any of his pitches.
Zambrano a big dude, too.
Whew. Man, he looked like a mixed martial artist. And he put the old windmill. You remember back in the day when you was a kid, and you knew you were kind of scared when you fight, so you had to do the windmill.
He had on his catcher's equipment, too.
But he got him all up in here.
Yeah, I know. He didn't have his mask on. That's where he went wrong.
If I'm coming in the dugout getting ready to argue with Zambrano, mask on.
Put your mask on.
Put your mask on.
Headbutt him a couple times. No.
See, that'll stop this crazy. Almost said something. But this is a family show, so I'm not going to say that. But the Cardinals got a 3-game set with the Los Angeles Angels. Cardinals won 3 out of the last 4.
Mm-hmm. They beat up on Cincinnati for they won 2 out of 3 this last series.
Mm-hmm. And the Cubs, as I said, they won 4 out of 5. They won last night 2-1 over the Braves. Rich Hill, the lefty.
We're not going to even talk about the White Sox.
No, we're not. Because they're losing to the New York Stankies. We even waste time talking about the White Sox.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on. Barry Bonds! Barry Bonds! Barry Bonds! Thank you. Say you yell. See, on live TV, sometimes you got to set stuff up. folks in the control room, they back there eating Funyuns and licorice.
Yeah, they ain't closed the door and everything.
Everything. Ain't paying. I bet you stink back there, boy.
What's going on?
Right. But Barry Bonds, home run watch with Hank Aaron. Barry's last home run was May 27th. I got something interesting for you. You know, I look into this stuff. You know how many home runs he hit in April?
No.
8. You know how many home runs he hit in May?
No.
4. You know how many home runs he's hit on the road this year?
No.
4. At this rate, you may not never break Hank Aaron's record.
You'll retire first.
Right.
Well, you don't want him to break it anyway.
I,
Speaking of Hank Aaron, they placed a plaque on the spot where his last home run fell.
oh, yeah? Where was that at?
Milwaukee.
Oh, so they just put a plaque in the city of Milwaukee, just the whole city?
No, actually it's in the parking lot.
Is it? He hit a home run in the parking lot.
That's where the ball fell.
Oh.
It is now the parking lot.
Oh.
It used to be part of the old station.
Oh.
Old stadium.
So what you're saying is the old stadium was there, hit a home run, it fell there, they tore the stadium down, but they know exactly the spot where that ball had failed.
They called in the engineers, they looked at film, and they did a number of other things to determine where the spot was that the ball fell.
Do you really believe that?
Hey, this is America. Anything's possible, yeah.
Okay.
It's mathematics.
Mathematics. Speaking of mathematics, congratulations to the Ducks, the Anaheim Ducks. They are the Stanley Cup. They hoisted up the Lloyd Stanley Cup. They are your National Hockey League champs for 2007 as they won the series over the Ottawa Senators 4-1. And now the weather.
You know, that's the only trophy that don't the team get to keep.
What?
They don't get to keep the Stanley Cup. Isn't that something?
Well, you know why? You seen that big old thing? Where you gonna put it?
On your mantle.
Nah, it's too big. It would tear up something. You'd stress, you know.
But, you know, in
Yeah.
football, you get the little golden, the crystal, the football trophy.
The Lombardi Trophy?
Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, that too.
You get that. Baseball, you get the World Series trophy. You get to keep that. You get to take that home.
Mm-hmm.
But not the Stanley Cup.
Right. You know why? Because hockey ain't got enough money for more than one trophy.
Because it's a big one.
We need that back.
Yeah, exactly.
You carry it around for like 30 days.
Uh-huh.
Then you get a phone call.
You got to give it back.
Hey, coach. Yeah. You got the trophy? Will you bring it back? So, Anaheim, National Hockey League, it's done. We gave you hockey news, hockey fans out there. Stat Girl is on critical condition right now. 10 phone call minimum, 384-2452. I remembered the phone number this time. But I guess you didn't because you ain't calling her. And she's sitting over there and she's starting to stress. You might want to go on monster.com tonight, get your resume together. You're out of here.
Or the week after. Or next season. Never next show.
Speaking of resumes, I'm helping you out, Stat Girl. Dante Culpepper's looking for a job. Now he told the Miami Dolphins he wants to be traded, and then he said today, hey, ain't going nowhere.
In the NFL?
He's going to block whatever trade the Miami Dolphins try to pull off.
In the NFL?
In the NFL.
Probably in the NFL. Those people in the booth and our graphics tonight are, hey, it's like David Blaine. Pew. Put it on the screen. Oh, after we put the NFL logo on the screen, the phone rang. UPTV Channel 6. Call us, tell us your name, tell us where you're calling from, tell it like it is.
Hey, my name's Jason. I'm calling from Champaign.
What's going on, Jason?
Not much, brother, not much. Just want to know if y'all watching that Women's World Series softball.
I did.
Did you?
Tennessee, Arizona.
That was awesome. I loved
Monica Abbott.
it. She's bad. Zero. How many shutout innings did she pitch?
I think like 1,000. I don't even remember the exact number.
She pitched every game though, didn't
Yeah, her and that other girl from Arizona too.
Now, Jason, I got a question for you. Now, you're watching that.
Yes, sir.
Monica Abbott basically pitched every game in the series.
Mm-hmm. I think she had like 59 straight innings or something like that she pitched.
Now, you look at a Major League Baseball pitcher who can barely go 6 innings, and he needs a week of rest.
Uh-huh.
So who are the wusses out there?
Well, the thing about Major League Baseball is them going 6 innings, that's a new thing of the last, 20 years. Those guys used to pitch on 3 to 4 days rest.
Exactly.
Back in the 60s and 70s with only like a 3 or 4 man rotation.
Bob Gibson used to do it regularly.
And those guys would throw batting practice on their days off.
Now, the other thing that I was impressed about watching the Women's World Series, the fielding.
Unbelievable, yeah.
These women are playing in front of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch coming in 67 miles an hour. Girl coming with a little bunt down third base line, and you see hands to the ground, ball to first base, like clockwork.
That's what me and my dad were watching, saying the fundamentals of that softball is better than watching baseball half the time.
I agree. Anything else you want to talk about, Jason?
No, sir. Appreciate it, brother. Y'all have a good night.
You too, man.
All right, bye.
He's right, man. The women were balling.
Oh yeah, but that's impressive to pitch every game during the World Series.
Right.
And you know, like the caller said, in the majors, you have your starters, your middle relief,
Your setup guy,
and then your closer.
and then the guy that drives the bus.
A starter is only expected to go 5-6 innings at the most.
Because why?
Pitch count now.
Ruin the game.
Pitch count.
Who came up with the magic number? Oh, he's throwing 100 pitches. We better get him off the mound. He's throwing 100.
Injuries.
You know where the injuries come from? Weightlifting. Like Jason talked about, the pitchers back in the 60s and 70s that could go on 2-3 days rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the tendons and the ligaments weren't bunched up with all the heavy muscle fibers around them from these guys bulking up the way they are.
Steroids. No, I'll just threw that out there. Don't pay no attention.
You're telling the truth, though. 52% of the people who tested positive on steroid are pitchers. I keep telling you that.
Yeah.
Roger Clemens, holla at me. Your fatigued groin.
He had tired groin. That was pretty funny.
Keep your hands out of your pants.
But he's supposed to pitch Saturday.
Yeah, if his groin's okay. But hey, back to NFL real quick. You were talking about Dante Culpepper. Dante, the Miami Dolphins traded with Kansas City Chiefs this week and picked up 36-year-old quarterback Trent Green. So that means Dante, he's out of job again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Dante's problem is? I'm gonna tell you this right now.
He his own agent.
Say it one more time for the fans out there ain't listening, Sergeant Rock.
He's his own agent.
One more time for the folks in the back of the church who just walked in.
He's his own agent.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
Very.
Now, and then Dante says, either trade me or release me before the weekend's over.
Mm-hmm.
So Miami says, okay, we'll trade you. And then the day says, well, I'm going to block that trade. I can tell you the first player who'll be playing in the All-American Football League, Dante Culpepper. He went from sugar to...
Real quick, too.
2004, Dante Culpepper was runner-up to Peyton Manning, MVP of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at him.
Looking for a job.
Wow.
NFL, not for long.
You said it, Jerry Glanville. You said it right.
Not for long.
A couple other things real quick in the NFL. Robert Meacham, the rookie wide receiver out of Tennessee, already had his knee scope. Out 4 to 6 weeks. He just got drafted in April.
His stock getting ready to plummet.
I know New Orleans is scratching their head going, man, what in the world did we just... They get Marcus Colston in the 7th round.
Right.
They get this guy in the 1st round. He can't even play. But Stat Girl, look, she trying to get old 4th quarter comeback. Caller, tell us your name, tell us where you're calling from, tell it like it is.
What's up? This is Rob from Champaign.
What's going on?
I had a question for Sergeant Rock.
Yes, sir.
What happened to the see-through shirt, man?
I have it on next week. But that was a hot
Oh,
day.
that's all I wanted, bro.
They cracking on my shirt, Joe.
I'm sorry, man.
It's fashionable.
You were. Take care, caller. He was looking kind of sexy a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I was up here turning people on. Is that what I was doing?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Sarge. I'm pretty comfortable with my sexuality, but that night, whew, I'm telling you,
Don't be looking at me that way, Joe.
hey, you shouldn't wear that shirt. Pretty, had me in the mind of what's her name? What's J-Lo? But it was Sarge Lowe. I'm losing my focus here.
Yeah, I see.
Get my focus back.
Get back in the game. Get back in the game.
Get back in the game, especially the NFL. So like we just talked about, Meacham, he's gone with the knee injury, with, like I said, just 4 to 6 weeks. Dante, back to him real quick. There's 3 teams out there that Dante needs to be looking at. Baltimore. Steve McNair is what, 73, 76 years old? That would be a good fit for him to go there and just rehab this year. As if Dante could go to Baltimore, just sit out this year, rehab, learn the system, and then McNair maybe only has a year left.
Well, the doctors already told him he's good to go.
Yeah, but the doctors may have said it, but mentally, you got to remember, Dante Culpepper shredded his knee in 2005.
Yeah, but now you're ready to get back. You healed up. Your knee is fine. Doctors gave you the clearance to play, and they go out and get Trent Green.
Yeah, because they want to go in a different direction. Dante looked horrible in the first 4 games of last year. Dante's problem is the mobility was cut down due to the knee injury, so that was a big part of his game when he played in Minnesota. So I think he ought to look at Baltimore, go there, sit a year or 2 behind McNair, not get the pressure off of him. Like I said, 2 years ago, he was up there with Peyton Manning and some of the other top quarterbacks.
Maybe you should be his agent.
If he give me $2, I'll do it. I'm telling you, man, you're marketing like that. Think of another team. You can see Dante going maybe to a Jacksonville or even a Denver, a team like Denver, who's got Jay Cutler, the rookie phenom from last year. Dante goes there, veteran backup, he can sit there. Or, another good place for Dante? Green Bay. And the reason why I say Green Bay, Roger Favre or Brett Clemens, they're the same people, aren't they?
Atlanta's going to be looking for a quarterback.
Yep, because Paris Hilton's getting a cellmate.
There you go.
Wink.
There you go. Go to Atlanta. You get a job.
Head down there. Anything else happening in the NFL, Sarge?
Yes, the NFL clubs may no longer serve alcohol at team functions, on buses, flights, extending the ban even into the locker room. So you remember after games, you used to be able to go in there and grab a Budweiser.
Right.
Sit down before you hit the shower.
Right.
But now, no longer any event that the NFL puts on, they can no longer serve alcohol, even to the guests.
Oh, so if we went as Tell It Like It Is reporters and wanted to have a post-game beer, could we get one?
Couldn't have one.
Couldn't have one. What about, so just all alcohol?
All alcohol.
So no Grey Goose in the locker room?
Nothing.
Crown?
Nothing.
Heno?
All NFL functions.
Piccadilly's would be locked out. Wow.
Just think, all the money they see, because some of these teams are sponsored.
Right.
By beer companies.
Exactly.
So I wonder how that's gonna hurt them.
I don't know. I guess weed smoking will go up 10% in the league.
You think so? Chewing the back end.
Chewing the back. Some, them dudes need a vice. So something's going to happen. But I think on the serious.
The reason why he did that is because he thinks that maybe banning alcohol from all these functions and stuff will keep the players, because a lot of these incidents that happened with the players were more or less alcohol related. So they're going to be cutting down on the alcohol, and hopefully that'll cut down on some of the incidents, even though I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
Nah.
They'll just drink before the games.
And after.
The Chicago Sloshers going against the Green Bay Trunks. That's what we'll see from now on.
And Tank Johnson got his
Tank Johnson got his deal in the NFL.
Yes, he did. He's gone for 8 games.
Possibly 6.
He's gonna do 8.
He'll do 8. Well, they said if he didn't get any other scrapes with law enforcement, they could reduce to 6. Because remember, the Bears suspended him for 1 game last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he spent his 60 days in the pokey, and
then you get out, then you gotta spend 8 games on the bench.
Yeah. But that gives Tank a chance to really get himself back in the good football condition and, get himself set mentally. So good luck to Tank Johnson, even though I'm not a Bears fan. And y'all out there looking, no, I'm not a Bears fan. Stop turning around, get back in the booth, get to your Funyuns. Make sure the graphics pop up when we yell for them. Hey, this is live TV. Make it snappy. Now, Sarge, we only got a few minutes left in the show. And we tackle serious subjects here and Tell It Like It Is, and tonight is no exception. I've been thinking about this one for quite some time. You're really enamored with Serena Williams, aren't you? You really think Serena is kind of,
She's hot.
She's hot. And Layla Ali, I really followed her with this Dancing with the Stars thing.
She's hot.
And when we were growing up as kids, you had comic book characters, Superman, Batman, and, and the Flash and Green Hornet, and, all those guys. And we always used to have arguments of who would win in a fight. Would Batman beat Superman with his gadgets and stuff, or would Superman beat Batman with his superhuman strength? So I got to wondering the other day, and that's how I want to close out the show, is what would happen if Serena Williams and Layla Ali got into a fight? Think about it.
That's a no-brainer.
A no-brainer?
Yeah.
You give me your reasoning. Come on.
Ali's a boxer.
Serena's from Compton.
Duh.
Serena's from Compton.
What's she gonna do? Come with a pistol? Come with her tennis racket?
She's from Compton. She might come out. I remember I told you about the windmill. Serena windmill Layla.
Joe.
When them press-on nails get on Layla, that pretty face of Layla.
Joe.
What would Layla do if she got cut?
Joe, you got too much time on your hands.
Nah, man.
We're gonna have to get you a hobby.
This is a hobby.
Well, you need another one.
But I'm serious, man. Who would win?
I just told you. Layla's a boxer.
Stat Girl, who you think would win if Layla and Serena got in a street fight?
Layla, she's a boxer.
See?
Right, but she's boxing.
She's trained to fight.
Okay, imagine
Fight.
she got that dress on from Dancing with the Stars and them heels. You can't be on your toes throwing them jabs and that. And Serena come out the bathroom because she heard Layla was talking about her man. What is everybody, why is everybody laughing at me? This is some serious stuff here. I told you we were gonna close the show out with some serious stuff, and I gave you some, y'all ponder that at home. If Serena Williams was at the club and Layla walked in with her man, who would win that fight? I'm telling you, girl from Compton.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
She probably gonna have all the other girls with her.
Venus. And Serena got what, about 5, 6 sisters?
Mm-hmm. No, 2.
No. See? Now I got him thinking about it, don't I?
I know he got 2 sisters.
But Layla got some sisters too. Look at him. Look at him. You see Serena go to, I'm going to the trunk, and she get her tennis racket and smack Layla Ali upside the head.
It never happened.
Wouldn't that be, and knock her weave out?
I'd love to watch it though.
Yep. It would be something nice to see.
You are watching a master at work.
Let's go.